Hola, bienvenidos a otra sesión de Satchel Classes. Soy Mr. Castrillón and I would like to welcome you again to another really good session with Satchel Classes. Today is a special edition. Today is about Christmas in Spain. We have another video which is about Christmas in Latin America. Both cultures, so to speak, are different and we celebrate Christmas in a very different way. Now, something that, of course, we want to enhance is although we have different traditions, it doesn't mean that we don't show the same, I would say, appreciation, love, and care about the festivities. So, well, let's see how we celebrate La Navidad en España. Well, first of all, we do have what we call La Flor de Navidad, our nativity or Christmas flower. And of course, most of you know how to pronounce this Feliz Navidad. In Spain, of course, you would say Feliz Navidad. Now, we do have lots of decorations and things that we have. We have, of course, our Christmas tree, el abeto navideño, and we, of course, have la estrella, las guirnaldas y las bolas coloridas. But we also have a very important part of our Christmas tradition, which is el pesebre. Now, el pesebre, I'm just going to go back here. El pesebre is basically what you call in English a nativity scene. And you will have baby Jesus and Mary and Joseph and the donkeys and all the animals. And it's a very beautiful display. It's very important in Spanish speaking countries. In Latin America, they also do um, nativity scenes. And actually, some children do actually reenact the actual Christmas period and they actually do it at schools. Las calles están iluminadas. Hay muchas luces. So, for instance, if you go to any street in Madrid, you're going to see lots of lights like the ones that are already being shown on my slide. But also, people have a very specific place where to go and buy their own presents in Madrid, and it's called El Corte Inglés. Very famous in Spain and very famous in Madrid. So if you ever go to Madrid, go to this place and you'll see where people buy their own presents for Christmas. But also, on the 22nd of December, el 22 de diciembre, people play el gordo. A ver si te toca el gordo. El comienzo de la Navidad en España lo marca el día de la Lotería Nacional. El sorteo se realiza el 22 de diciembre. On the 22nd of December, that's when the actual Christmas period starts. And how do people know this? Because that's when people go and buy a lottery called El Gordo. And it's a very big fat prize for people to actually strike gold, as you say in English. So this is a ticket from, that very famous lottery in Spain. El día 24 se celebra la Nochebuena, Christmas Eve, on the 24th of December. And of course, you have la cena familiar y a medianoche la misa de gallo. As you can see, lots of people gather in their families and they have a big Christmas dinner on New Year's Eve. And right at midnight, people go to church to actually have a special mass, which is called La Misa de Gallo. Now, this mass, depending on the country and depending on the city, can last 3 or 4 hours sometimes. So it depends a lot on the traditions and how people want to stay there for. I have myself been on one of those, well, not one, but many, and I've been there for about 2 hours. It's not boring, by the way. It's full of songs, and people feel a lot of happiness, but at the same time, there's a lot of respect for Jesus and for our Catholic traditions. But we also have lots of food during that time. So I'm going to show you some of the things that we tend to eat in Spain. For instance, embutido. So we have el salchichón, el chorizo, el jamón serrano. We also have mariscos o cordero. Now, as you can see, we have lots of seafood and also lamb. Fish, besugo al horno. So as you can see, we have lots and lots of different options when it comes down to food. We have fish, we have seafood, and of course, we also have turkey. Los pavos también somos gente, says the turkey. But also, we have desserts or puddings, and they are very famous in Spain. Here you have two different types, el turrón or polvorones. And you could have el turrón duro or turrón blando. El turrón duro means it's hard. It's some sort of very sweet, like a toffee, and it has lots of nuts in it. El mejor turrón es el de Alicante, by the way. So if you ever go to Alicante, that's where you need to buy el turrón. También hay los mazapanes de Toledo. Se preparan con huevos, almendras y azúcar. Now, mazapanes from Toledo are very famous during Christmas time, and they are made with eggs, almonds, or and sugar. Really nice, by the way. Es habitual acompañar la cena con cava, un vino espumoso catalán o champán. El más conocido es la marca Freixenet. Todos los años realiza un anuncio publicitario que no deja indiferente a nadie. Now, this is a very, I would say, special common tradition in Spain. And I'm going to translate this for you. So it's very common, to have your dinner with cava, which is a special kind of a bubbly wine that comes from from Catalonia, or champagne, which is champagne in Spanish. Look at that spelling, by the way, very similar to champagne. El más conocido es la marca Freixenet. So the most well-known, or the kind of the most popular, is one that comes from the brand Freixenet. Uh, every year they actually release an ad, and they basically make people feel very touched by their Christmas announcements and ads. Feel free to go on YouTube and check one of those out. It's very similar to what happens in the UK with many companies that release wonderful ads to somehow inspire the Christmas feeling. El 25 de diciembre viene Papá Noel, aunque los niños piden regalos a los Reyes Magos. Now, this is a really big difference between what we do here in the UK and also what people do in Latin America. On the 25th of December, that's when Santa comes to basically to celebrate Christmas. But children in Spain, look at this, they don't actually write letters to Santa. They write letters to los Reyes Magos. Now, why is this the case? Well, because in Spain, as well as in Latin America, we have a more kind of, we are more influenced by our Catholic traditions, which means that Santa Claus or Father Nicholas is not that important to us. Of course, we do have Santa Claus, we do have Father Nicholas in our traditions, but that has been more of a recent years, in the last, I would say, 20 years. But before then, Father Christmas was not very popular at all because people didn't know a lot about him. Uh, the tradition still, though, is that presents are being kind of letters are being sent to the Magi for them to then bring them to us. Now, we have many things in our basically traditions. We have el abeto, which is the tree, villancicos, regalos. Now, el abeto is the tree, the Christmas tree. Villancicos are popular songs, which are Christmas carols. And of course, we have los regalos, the presents. By the way, something really important is that villancicos or Christmas carols are very different from the ones that you actually see in here in the UK or in England. They usually are, I would say, a lot louder and faster, if you like. Now, then, also, there is something else that kids tend to do, and they play games. And these games are usually games with a bit of um, a challenge, which means that, say, for instance, if you're going to um, play these games with your friends and you lose, you'll have to pay some sort of like penance or like penalties. You will have to give them presents or sweets or things like that. There are many games, like for instance, if I have a straw in my mouth and then it is longer than your straw, and then I win. There are loads of games that people play during Christmas time. But also we have el Día de los Inocentes, el 28 de diciembre. Now, on the 20th of December, people kind of have some like practical jokes. And this is the equivalent to what we have in the UK as April's Fool. It's exactly the same thing. It's just that we celebrate it on a different date. Now, this is celebrated not only in Spain, but also in Latin America and is called El Día de los Inocentes. Now, you may wonder why we do this on the 28th of December. Well, the reason for it is slightly, I would say, strange because we also know that Jesus Christ, when he was a baby, he wasn't very popular. And that's what the Bible says. And we follow this. So on that day, or just to commemorate that day, we know that many children die during those days. Now, I don't have all the details about it, but feel free to ask your parents or your nearest speaker, and they'll give you more information about what happened during those days when many children died because there was I guess, an emperor who wanted to get rid of all the children because he knew that baby Jesus was somewhere. El 31 de diciembre se celebra la Noche Vieja. Tomamos 12 uvas de la suerte, es la noche más larga del año y la fiesta continúa hasta el día 1 por la mañana. So this is the 31st of December, Christmas Eve, or Noche Vieja, and that's how we say Christmas Eve in Spanish. Most people will eat 12 grapes just to have good luck for the following year, and they will drink champagne. It's the longest night of the year because people will stay up until very late. And of course, the party will continue until 1 o'clock. Sorry, will continue until the 1st of January in the morning. On the 5th of January, that's when the Magi or los Reyes Magos arrive in Spain. They arrive in Spain and they bring all the presents to all the children. And it is what they call Cabalgata de Reyes, which is basically a parade where all the Magi come, all the three of them come into the houses. Now, this is symbolic, it's not real, but it's how people, it's like us in the UK say with Santa Claus, that he will come on the 25th or 24th, 25th, and he will bring the presents. And as you can see, this is a picture and there is a whole parade. And it's a very beautiful parade, actually. Lots of presents and beautiful um, toys and beautiful, um, we call them cabalgatas, which is a special type of vehicle. El día 6 de enero es el día de abrir los regalos que han traído los Reyes Magos. Se come en familia y de postre se come el roscón de Reyes. Well, on the 6th of January, that's when all the kids open their presents. So look at this, how different it is. On the 25th, that's what you do here in the UK, you open all your presents. Well, if you were a Spanish kid, you will have to wait until the 6th of January. And that's when people open the presents. But they also eat in family, and they also have this wonderful dessert called el roscón de Reyes. Very, very nice. So let's have a look and see where you can remember everything that we've spoken today about Christmas. Let's see. I'm going to ask you a very simple question. Question number one, La Navidad. And what I would like you to do is I want you to try and translate the correct sentence. La Navidad es una comida española. La Navidad es una fiesta que se celebra en muchos lugares del mundo. O la Navidad es una fiesta de España. O la Navidad es una canción de España. One of those will be the right complement for our sentence. Can you guess which one that is? I'm going to give you 1 minute to try and work it out. Well, let's have a look at the answer. La Navidad es una fiesta que se celebra en muchos lugares del mundo. Christmas is a party or is a celebration that takes place in many places around the world. Let's see the next one. El Gordo es el nombre de Papá Noel. O El Gordo es un famoso restaurante en Madrid. O El Gordo es otro nombre para el día de Navidad. O El Gordo es una lotería. Which one do you reckon is the right answer? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to try and work it out yourself. Well, let's have a look and see the answer. Es una lotería. I don't remember how much money it is that you actually can make, but most people play it because it's a big, big prize. So if you ever go to Spain to spend uh, Christmas and Christmas holidays over there, do be sure and do get sure that you will buy your lottery ticket. By the way, can you remember when to do it? Yes, December the 22nd. That's the day. El 24 de diciembre se celebra la Nochebuena, la Navidad, la Nochevieja o el Día de Año Nuevo. Which one is it? Well, let's have a look. La Nochebuena, that's when we celebrate, or that's what is we celebrate on the 24th of December, Christmas Eve. Noche Buena. Los regalos de Navidad se dan en la Nochebuena, el 24 de diciembre. En la Navidad, el 25 de diciembre. El Día de los Reyes Magos, el 6 de enero. O el Día de Año Nuevo, el 1 de enero. Now remember that regalos means present. Exactly. Christmas presents are given on el Día de los Reyes Magos, el 6 de enero. On the 6th of January, that's when we actually give all the presents to our children in Spain. Okay. La Misa de Gallo is a Catholic midnight service or mass, a special meal eaten only on Christmas Day, a gift that every Spanish child receives for Christmas, or a TV show. What do you think the answer is for that? I'm going to give you 30 seconds for that. Well, let's have a look and see what the answer is. It is indeed a Catholic midnight service or mass. Well, I hope you have enjoyed today's special edition. We want to wish you felices fiestas y un próspero año nuevo. And we all wish you the very best for next year. The most important thing you need to remember is, of course, to be safe during these holidays. In the meantime, hasta la vista, hasta muy pronto y muchos éxitos.